Greetings, my name is Tim Johnston. This is Recovery, Strength, Hope and Courage. 2018 is just round the corner now. It's a time when many of us make resolutions and want to make changes in our lives, changes for the better, changing old habits and bad habits. If you're watching these videos or my videos or videos like them, then you probably realise that you need to make some changes in your life, which is brilliant because it's the first step. You know, you probably either A, think you may have a problem with alcohol and drugs. You may B, think no, you have a problem with alcohol and drugs and you want to do something about it. Or C, you know someone with a problem and perhaps wants information and perhaps wants to know how to help them. Or, you know, maybe one or two other things as well, just maybe information gathering. But generally, if you're watching these, you know you need to change. And that's the first step. Knowing that you need to change, and then action, that's the next step, and seeking help. You all know that it's the basics of recovery. But I want these videos, and I wanted these videos over the last year because I've started making them in January last year. I just want them to stand as a warning to people, really, because I didn't make those changes till I was 56 years old. I was very complacent, and many of you might be, you know, and I know many of you that watch these are young, with young families perhaps, and are in addiction or trying to get out of addiction or in the early stages of recovery. Or I just want these videos to be a warning, because if you've not made the change yet, this is an ideal time to make it. If nothing changes, nothing changes. It's the old adage. And don't wait till you're 56 years old like me to make those changes. Because I tried many times in my life and used many excuses and fell backwards, but I never stopped trying, I suppose, which is the main thing. But it took such a long time, I almost lost everything, and it was just by the grace of God that I had such a loving family and that stayed by me, I suppose. But I ended up losing. If you look back at my life story in these videos, and please subscribe if you find them useful, because more people see them that way. But you know, in my life story, you'll hear that, you know, my marriage we're separated now. You know, I almost lost my children, lost everything, and it will take everything from you, these addictions, you know, alcohol, drugs, opiates and alcohol in particular, which were mine, will steal everything from you. They'll take everything, and they'll start with all the material things, which perhaps don't necessarily matter to everyone, but, you know, they'll start with that. They'll take everything, your money, your house, your job. They'll take your pride, they'll take your dignity, but most importantly, they'll take your family from you. They will eventually take your family from you. And when they've taken everything else away from you, when they've stripped you of everything you have, the final indignity is they'll rip your health away from you, and then they'll rip your life away from you, because you'll die. And you won't die in dignity or with respect, with your head held high, like the human being you perhaps want to be. You will die in a pool of vomit and blood, or with a swollen belly with liver failure, and on a hospital bed with tubes sticking out of your body, because you poisoned your system for so long. And that's where it will lead, guys. It will lead. And you know, I'm not preaching, because I almost went through this. And again, my health, you know, my improvements in health is for the grace of God, because many people have died a lot younger than me from this disease that probably abused drugs and alcohol less than me, and I've just been very lucky. And I just want to pass on to you how important it is. You've got to start changing your mentality now. You've got to start thinking ahead. If you haven't made the change yet, you've got to get through Christmas first of all. If you've already made the change, bugger Christmas parties and all the rest. You don't need alcohol and drugs to get through all this shit. As I've said in other videos I've done, you don't need to do that. You will experience true happiness, calmness and serenity inside when you're straight, because that's what Christmas is all about, spending it with your family. But if you haven't made the change yet, use 2018 as that stepping block. I've got loads of videos on withdrawal and preparing for it and stuff like that. Look back on them. And make the plan now to start 2018 afresh. You've got to start not being the victim anymore, because I know bad things have happened perhaps in your life and you're using them as crutches and excuses to drink or to use. You know, you're not what happened to you. You're what you chose to become. You chose this path. You chose to pick up the drugs and the drink, like I chose to pick up the drugs and the drink to lean on, to get me through the day, you know, to calm me down, to reward me, to help me deal with stress. But it just made everything totally worse. And you know yourself that it will make everything worse. You know, they don't improve things, they just make things worse. And I've got many ways of dealing with this stress now. And again, look back in the other videos. There's many good ways to deal with stress that are much more effective than drugs and alcohol, that don't leave you with a worse situation that you began with. You know, you can't look back. You're not going that way, are you? You know, you're going forwards now. You've got to think as 2018 as a new start, a new beginning for you and your life and your family and your health. And you, the things, the rewards that will come to you in 2018 if you make these changes and you stay sober over Christmas even, are immense. And I'm not just talking a monetary, although they will come, and success will come in your job, or whatever you choose to do. You'll have new clarity, you'll have new thoughts, and you won't believe the energy that you have mentally and physically and spiritually, the energy for your children, the energy that you will have just to jump out of bed and enjoy the day and breathe in air and live life properly and free again. You know, the world we've created is just it's a process of our own thinking. We've created this world we're in, this shit we're in. We've created it, and you have to change your thinking. As I said in the last video, you're a prisoner. You know, you're in a prison of your own habits. You're in this prison, but you've got the key to unlock this prison. You have the key. You have the choice to stop. You have the choice to change your life now and use this 2018 as a stepping block. You're braver than you believe. You're smarter than you think. You know, and stronger than you seem. You know, you don't understand the inner strength you've got. If I can do it at my age, in the state I was in, you can definitely do it. I'm 100%. Trust me, you can. You've got to give yourself that opportunity. You owe it to your children, but most of all, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your partner. You know, you owe it to everyone, but you owe it to yourself more than anything. To be healthy, you know, and to live life on life's terms as it's supposed to be lived. You know, it's not, and if you hate yourself, all that comes back. Your self-esteem comes back. Your self-love comes back. You can't be lonely if you love the person you're alone with. That's what I always say, and I live alone. And I begin to love myself and like myself, and I'm never lonely. I enjoy solitude, yes, but I'm never lonely. Just remember that. Whatever you need is already here to do this. You have it inside you. You have the inner strength. If nothing changes, nothing changes. You can change, and use 2018 to change before it's too late to change, because the price is higher doing the same thing over and over again than it can ever be changing. You know, the price is very, very high, and the price is your life and everything you hold dear in your life. And that's a freaking high price, guys. It's a high price. Don't lose it. Live life on life's terms. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Seize the day in 2018. Make the change in your life that you need to make. Much love to you all. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.